We are back at the biggest drag race on the planet, the 60th anniversary of the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals. Connie Kalitta's drag racing career began in the 1950s. He found success right away, but the sport's biggest prize eluded him nearly 5 decades. Finally, in 1994, the bounty hunter won drag racing's biggest prize, the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis.
It was very real, and big load off my shoulders of being able to conquer the biggest race there is.
20 years ago, I was on the start line when Connie Kalitta beat Eddie Hill, and that was quite a thrill. And it was something that we thought, hey, maybe we'll do this again, you know, somewhere down the road. Well, here we are 20 years later, and we haven't been able to. We've been fortunate, had some runner-ups and things like that with Doug's car, but sure would be nice to 20 years later get an Indy trophy for this Kalitta Motorsports team. It becomes frustrating after a while where you almost don't even like going to Indy because it's such a long event, and you know the disappointment when you don't win that race it's 10 times the amount it is when you leave any other race.
The win at the U.S. Nationals, it would probably, it would definitely be my best prestigious race to win out of all the races, in my opinion. So, and I've been close. Been to the final couple times there and just got beat. But really, I try to take all that stress off. Just go there, treat it like it's any other race.
Somehow, we need to treat it like it's just another race. But when you're there, it's kind of hard to just treat it as just another race because of all the people that you see maybe just once a year, the amount of legendary people walking around the track that have won Indy over the course of 60 years. It's tough because to be runner-up at a race like Indy, I mean, nobody remembers who the runner-up was in the Super Bowl, or who the guy, the team who lost the World Series or the NBA championship, and nobody remembers who the runner-up was at Indy either.
The Kalitta racing family suffered a huge loss in 2008. Connie's son Scott was killed in a racing accident in Englishtown, New Jersey. Since then, his memory has served to motivate and inspire Kalitta Motorsports.
I think of Scott every race that we go to, and Indy's, especially, because after his accident in 08, the first race that car came back was at Indy and went down the track, Jeff Arend driving it. It was a 4:19 that Jeff ran that run. In my opinion, that was probably the single greatest run that we've ever made in Kalitta Motorsports history, just because of everything that happened, and to come back at the biggest race of the year and to be able to put that car on the track and do well, it was big.
The year that I won it, if I'm not mistaken, in the semifinals, Eddie Hill run Scott, and Scott got beat. Otherwise, it'd been father and son in the finals. Didn't happen. He's always on my mind. You go there to race, though, and it's a shame he's not here today, because we'd be hand in hand on the thing, and I miss that.
Today, the Kalitta family banner is carried by Connie's nephew, Doug. Jim Oberhofer says no one is better poised to bring the team their second U.S. Nationals trophy.
I look at Doug as, in my opinion, the best pure driver that this sport's ever seen. And, okay, he doesn't have an Indy win or a championship on his resume yet, but I just think he's the most talented guy that there is, and I'm very fortunate that I get to be his crew chief. For him to win, it would be something that I would want to do anything I can to make that happen for Doug more than anything. And then, for the Kalitta family to have that Indy win. I'm hoping that, somehow, because I'm all into this luck thing, I'm hoping like 20 years later that somehow, we can pull off an Indy win for Doug, and he can have a trophy just like his uncle does, and then hopefully have a championship trophy just like his cousin did.
And we will see Doug Kalitta coming up in 2 pairs. He races Dom Lagana.